Today's topic is about elimination of arbitrary constants. I do not need to explain yung overall objective nito dahil the title itself speaks it. Kumbaga, kung ano yung meron sa title dito sa video na to, yan talagang gagawin natin. Okay? So we will eliminate the arbitrary constants. Now, ano yung arbitrary constant? So let me give you one indefinite integral example, which is simple to solve. Okay. So let's just say we will evaluate the given indefinite integral, which is x with respect to x. So ang integral ng x with respect to x ay x squared all over 2 plus c, or pwede namang siyang 1/2 of x squared plus c. Itong si c na to, yes, ginagamit natin siya every time we get the integral of a given function. Itong si c, it has two purposes. Una is to have the initial value, which makes sense kasi dito sa differential equation, if there is a particular given sa isang variable, ano ba yan? I-substitute mo siya para makuha mo yung value ng c. Alright? Then another thing here is para maging consistent yung solution. Kasi it could be interpreted in different way. Alright? It could be interpreted in different way. Kaya we have to be consistent as possible. Ngayon dito, itong si C, isa siya pala siyang arbitrary constant. Okay? So, itong si arbitrary constant, isa siyang constant na pwede siyang kahit anong constant. Gets niyo ako? It is a type of constant that could be an any type of constant. Or in other words, basically, napaka-ambiguous itong si arbitrary constant. So bakit ambiguous? So it's simple kung bakit. Kasi pwede siyang kahit anong constant, whether if it's rational or irrational. So gamitin natin itong sa example. Itong si 1 of x squared plus c. Di ba si c we need initial value, right? So let me give an example. So kung ganun, I can have 1/2 x squared plus 1. Pwede naman ako magkaroon ng 1/2 x squared plus 3/4. Pwede rin. Pwede rin ako magkaroon ng 1/2 x squared plus 3 times 4. Pwede rin. As long as constant naman sila. Okay? Or pwede naman ako magkaroon ng ganito. 1/2 x squared minus e. Pwede rin. O kaya pwede ako magkaroon ng ganito. 1/2 x squared plus sine of 45 degrees. Ito, constant pa rin to. Si sine 45 degrees, it is still a constant. Kasi si sine 45 degrees, if you recall, this is square root of 2 all over 2. Okay? Or pwede rin ako magkaroon ng ganito. 1/2 x squared plus ln of 5. O, diba? Anong mapapansin mo rito? Si C, pwede siyang isang whole number. Pwede pala siyang isang fraction. Pwede pala siyang dalawang constant terms na imumultiply mo sila. Pwede pala siyang isang irrational na number. Pwede pala siyang ganito. And pwede pala siyang ganito. Okay? Also pala, pwede pala siya ganito rin na. I forgot. Pwede pala siyang 1/2 x squared plus 3 minus 4. Pwede rin. Okay? Basta constant terms or constant sila. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin nun, itong si arbitrary constant, it could be a whole number, a fraction, two constant terms that are being multiplied together, irrational number, isang type of constant na ginawang trigo, isang type na constant na ginawang natural logarithm, or group of constant terms that are being separated by addition or subtraction operation. So that is arbitrary constant. It could be interpreted in different way. pwede siya kahit ano. Basta constant lang siya. Okay? Basta pag constant, kahit anong constant siya. Okay? So, yun yung tatanggalin natin. Our goal is to remove this arbitrary constant. Okay? Ngayon, ibura ko lang to. Wait lang, especially the arrows, it triggers me. So itong si arbitrary constant, it could be represented into two ways. Okay? And actually, not two-way, isang way lang, pero it is segmented into two parts. Okay? So si arbitrary constant, it is represented by letters. So there are two ways. Una is basically uh, using different types of letters. Okay? So pwede siyang A or lowercase na A, pwede siyang capital B or lowercase na B, pwede siyang capital na C or lowercase na C, and etc. Okay? Pwede siyang ganun. Or it could be interpreted as a single letter pero mayroong siyang subscript. If and only if the given equation has two or more arbitrary constant. So kunwari, ginamit ko si C. Okay? So kapag may nakita kong two or more arbitrary constants na naka-C, so pwede siyang C1, C sub 2, C sub 3, or C sub 4, etc. Okay? Let me give you an example. Okay? Pwede siya ganito. Y is equal to AX plus B. O, di ba? So you have two arbitrary constant. Or, pwede pala siyang ganito. If si A ang preferred mong ano, or si A ang representation ng arbitrary constant, then ganito maging tsura niya. Y is equal to A sub 1 times X plus A sub 2. O, di ba? So, as I said, we will eliminate these arbitrary constants. So, ang tanong nun is, paano? How would you, excuse me, how would you eliminate these arbitrary constants? So, there are three steps that you need to follow. Teka lang nga. There you go. So, there are three steps that you need to follow. Number one is, in yung first step mo, count the given arbitrary constant. Ilan ba sila sa isang equation na isosolve mo? Number two is that kung ano yung, kung ilan sila, I'm referring to arbitrary constant, then yun din yung ilang beses mo siyang i-differentiate. So, ibig sabihin nun, the number of given arbitrary constants, that would be the number of times you will differentiate the equation. Then, meron tayong last step or third step. Dito, meron kang dalawang condition. First condition is, after mo siya ma-differentiate, tapos lahat sila ay na-eliminate na, then yan yung final answer mo. Tapos, if possible, i-simplify mo na lang siya. Otherwise, if at least one of them ay hindi pa natanggal, then you need to find a way para ma-eliminate mo siya. So let me give you an example. Pero before that, i-decrease ko lang tong font size na to para meron tayong space. Ayan. As long as it's readable, it's fine. So, dito tayo. Let's just say I have this problem, or equation pala, sorry. Y is equal to AX plus B. So, as you can see, you have two arbitrary constants. Diba? Yun yung first step natin, diba? Count the given arbitrary constant. So, ilan si arbitrary constant dito? So, we have two, si A at saka si B. So, yun na yun. The next, sa second step, the number of given arbitrary constant is the number of times the differentiation. Ibig sabihin nun, kung dalawa ang arbitrary constant mo, then dalawang beses mong i-differentiate yung equation. Okay? So, i-differentiate natin to ng dalawang beses. So, we will have y prime is equal to ax plus 0. Okay? Or ax na lang siya. Then, i-differentiate natin siya ulit. We will have A. Ay, sorry, mali pala ako. Mali pala ako, guys. Sorry. Y prime is equal to A lang pala. Sorry. Alright? Then, second derivative nito is we will have 0. That's it. Okay na. So, na yun, punta na tayo sa third step. May tatlong tong condition, di ba? Tatlo. May dalawang condition to, di ba? So, kung mapapansin mo, after mo siya ma-differentiate or basically, sa final differentiation mo, kung mapapansin mo, wala siyang arbitrary constant, di ba? So, kung wala siyang arbitrary constant, then, yan na yung magiging final answer mo. Okay? So, therefore, as you can see, since wala na si arbitrary constant dito sa huli mong derivative order, then yan na yung magiging final natin sagot. Your final answer here is y second prime is equal to 0. So that's it. That's basically how you eliminate the arbitrary constant. So let's try to have some other examples. So let's just say meron tayong ganito. Okay. Let's just say we have x squared minus 2x plus c is equal to y. So ano yung first step natin? First step natin is to count the given arbitrary constant. So as you can see, isa lang yung ating arbitrary constant, which is c. Okay. Now, to the second step, the number of given arbitrary constant is the number of times the differentiation. So since may isa lang tayong arbitrary constant, so that means isang beses mo siyang i-differentiate. Okay? So let's differentiate this once. So ang derivative na tong equation na to is we will have 2x minus 2 plus 0 is equal to y prime. So to simplify further, meron tayong 2x minus 2 is equal to y prime. Okay? So, ngayon, check ninyo. Meron lang bang arbitrary constant dito? The answer is wala. So, if wala, then yan na yung magiging final answer natin. That's it. That's how easy it is. By the way, you can still simplify this one, ha? Itong si 2x at saka si negative 2, okay, both of them are divisible by 2. At yan yung greatest common factor nilang dalawa, si 2. So therefore, meron tayong 2 times quantity x minus 1 is equal to y prime. So yeah, pwede na rin to as your final answer. Or you can, what do you call this one? You can basically reformat your answer in different way. Okay? Kung gusto mo, wala si 2 dito, you can basically divide both sides by 2. Na mangyari dyan, we will have x minus 1 is equal to y prime all over 2. So, pwede na rin to. Okay? It is still correct. So, basically, point ko is that as long as tama naman siya and you find other ways to simplify it, then it's still correct. Alright? So, yeah, that's basically it. So, dito naman tayo. We have y is equal to ax cubed. Okay? Now, let's eliminate the arbitrary constant. So, first step, count how many arbitrary constant. Ilan si arbitrary constant dito? Isa lang siya, di ba? So, that's only one. So, second step, the number of given arbitrary constant is the number of times the differentiation. So, kung isa lang si arbitrary constant, that means isang beses mo lang siyang i-differentiate. So, that means let's differentiate the equation once. So, we will have y prime is equal to 3ax squared. Or, pwede siyang y prime is equal to ax squared. Bakit? Why is it that meron tayong ax squared? Okay, instead of 3ax squared. Bakit kaya? So, remember, ano ulit yung arbitrary constant na sinabi ko kanina? Ang arbitrary constant, di ba, isa siyang type of constant na pwede siyang kahit anong constant, di ba? So, pwede siyang constant na rational, irrational, or group of constants na imumultiply mo or di-divide mo, di ba? So, tingnan mo tong dalawa. Itong si 3 at saka si A. Di ba, dalawang constant terms na magkadikit-dikit to, di ba? So, kung magkadikit-dikit sila, anong ibig sabihin nun? Di ba, imumultiply mo? Right? So, if you're going to multiply a constant and a constant, anong sagot pa rin? Di ba, constant pa rin siya? It's like this eh, 3 times 3 is 9. Is 9 a constant? Yes, it is still a constant. 2 times 3, 6. Is 6 a constant? 6 pa rin siya, di ba? Which is constant pa rin. Okay? So, basically, ang ibig kong sabihin nun is that kapag meron kang arbitrary constant, tapos imumultiply mo siya, i-divide mo siya, i-add mo siya, or i-subtract mo siya, then pwede mo siyang i-group together into one arbitrary constant. So, di ba, we have 3A. Why not A na lang? Gets mo? Imbes na 3 plus A, gawin mo na lang siyang A. Okay? If you're going to combine them together, A na lang ang sagot. Basically, ulitin ko if you're going to multiply, divide, subtract, or add a constant term to a arbitrary constant, the answer is arbitrary constant na lang for simplification. So 3 times A is A, 3 plus A is A, 3 divided by A is A, or vice versa, A pa rin. And lastly, 3 minus A is still A. So therefore, basically, para dito magkalito-lito, pwede namang ganito kung gusto mo, or to simplify things, kung ayaw mo nang magulo-gulo, gawin mo na lang siyang A. Okay? Kapag may kasama siyang constant terms, meron kang arbitrary constant, gamitin mo na yung arbitrary constant as a whole. Yun na lang yun. Alright? So, going back. So yeah, there are two ways. You can either use this one, 3ax squared, or yung second one is ax squared. So both of them will answer correctly as we proceed to the solution later on. So ipakita ko sa'yo later. Alright? So let's start first muna. What if ginamit mo si 3ax squared? Okay, what if ginamit mo si 3ax squared? Okay? So, okay na. You have differentiated the equation. Now, take a look. Meron ba siyang arbitrary constant o wala na? As you can see, meron. Di ba? Meron siyang arbitrary constant. So according sa second condition, sa third step, if at least one arbitrary constant is still given, then find a way to eliminate it. So paano kaya yun? So in here, pwede ako mag-apply ng system of equation. Okay? Methods in solving a system of equation. So if you're going to recall in your high school algebra, there are three methods in solving a system of equation. First is elimination method, second is substitution method, and third is graphing method. So dito, what I can use here is substitution method. Okay? So gagamitin ko dito si substitution method to cancel out or eliminate the arbitrary constant. So let's start with this one. Gamitin ko tong equation. Itong si y prime is equal to 3ax squared. So ito, y prime is equal to 3ax squared. Ang gagawin ko rito is I will find my a here. Hanapin ko si a dito sa equation na to. So by doing so, I'll divide both sides by 3x squared. So kung ganun, I will have y prime all over 3x squared is equal to a. So, ngayon, nakita ko na si a, i-substitute ko na siya dito sa original nating equation. So, since we have y is equal to ax cubed, teka lang, ax cubed, And since A is y prime all over 3x squared, therefore, yung equation natin magiging y prime all over 3x squared times x cubed. Ganyan na siya. So with that being said, we can simplify this. So itong si x squared magiging 1 na lang to. Tapos itong si x cubed, yung exponent niya, mababawasan ng exponent by 2. So maging exponent niya ay 1. So therefore, magiging y is equal to y prime all over 3x. So yan na yung magiging final sagot natin. Kasi wala na tayong arbitrary constant. Or we can still simplify this one. Okay, pwede pa itong simplify. So ito, we have, kung i-cross multiply mo itong equation na to, we will have 3y is equal to y prime times x. Or kung gusto mo, ilagay si x sa unahan, wala naman tayong problema dyan. So we have x times y prime. Okay? So, pwede na rin to as your final answer. Okay? Pwede na rin yan. Okay? So, yun na yun ang maging sagot mo. Pero what if ito pinili mo? Y prime is equal to ax squared. Okay? So, the same thing pa rin. The same way. Alright? So, wait lang burahin ko lang itong mga formula na to. Formula. Solution dito Tapos, iusog ko lang itong mga naka-box na sagot. Kaya lang Ilagay ko siya dito. Ay, sorry. Ano ba yun? Kaya lang Yan. So, proceed tayo dito. Okay, what if ginamit mo si y prime is equal to ax squared? So, as you can see, ganun pa rin. Di ba? Meron tayong isang arbitrary constant. Di ba? So, that means we need to find a way to eliminate it. So, I will use the same method pa rin. Gagamit pa rin tayo ng the same method. Substitution method pa rin tayo. Okay? So, in here, dito si So, ang gagawin ko, i-divide both by prime all over x squared is equal to a. Tapos, i-substitute ko sa dito sa original formula ko. So, magiging y is equal to y prime all over x times x. Yan. Tapos, itong si x cube, itong exponent niya, mababawasan ng dalawang exponent. So, magiging 1 ang kanyang exponent. Hence, we will have y is equal to y prime. Wait lang. Baka ito nagkamali. Wait lang. Hence, we have y is equal to y prime times x. So, this is our final answer. Okay? Or, kung pwede, gusto mo siya ipagka-group together in one side, walang problema. So, magiging 0 is equal to y prime times x minus y. Or vice versa, kung gusto mong ilagay si y at saka si y prime times x on the side, there's no problem. So, here's the thing Kung mapapansin nyo, they're actually different. Different in terms of what? Tingnan mo yung difference na ng dalawa. Dito. 3y is equal to xy prime. Ito mo naman on the right side, y is equal to y prime times x or x times y prime. Parehas lang sila. Kung mapapansin nyo, ang pinakaiba lang nila yung coefficient nila. Ito. 3y, coefficient ng 3y is 3. Tapos dito sa y, ang coefficient niya ay si 1. Okay? Pero here's the thing. Is the answer correct? The answer is yes. Tama pa rin sila. Okay? Tama pa rin ang sagot nila. So, kung ganun, then, does it mean ba okay lang na gagamitin ko tong sagot? Ito? Alright? Instead na ito? Or vice versa? The answer is yes. it's okay. Pero it depends. Kasi what if sa exam may multiple choice ka, 'di ba? So sa multiple choice, magkaiba pala yung sagot mo doon pala sa sagot ng isang tanong na may choices. So it's better to be prepared na lang. Alright? So overall, kahit saan diyan, tama naman yung sagot mo. Okay? This one or this one, tama pa rin yan. Okay? In the future, you will know why, bakit tama pa rin to. Okay? So let's proceed to the next example. So how about this one? Let's just say meron tayong y is equal to a sub 1 times e raised to x plus b, ay bakit b? May a sub 1 na nga sorry. Plus a sub 2 times e raised to negative x. So una, sabi daw rito, count the given arbitrary constants. So ilang arbitrary constant to? 1 tsaka si 2, di ba? Now, to the second step, the number of given arbitrary constants is the number of times the differentiation. So that means, if we have two arbitrary constants, it means dalawang beses natin siyang i-differentiate. So, let's get our first derivative. So, ito magiging y prime is equal to a sub 1 e raised to x minus a sub 2 e raised to negative x. Tapos, sa second derivative natin, we have a sub 1 e raised to x plus a sub 2 e raised to negative x. Okay, ayan na. Now, here's the thing. After natin na-differentiate siya, meron pa rin ba tayong arbitrary constant? So kung mapapansin nyo, meron pa kasi si a sub 1 at saka si a sub 2 ay andyan pa lang siya. So therefore, we need to find a way to eliminate it. So for me, if I'm going to eliminate this one, ang gagamitin ko rito ay substitution method. So if you believe na you can eliminate a sub 1 and a sub 2 by using elimination method, sure, why not? There's no problem. Pero ang gagamitin ko rito ay substitution method. Alright? So, dito, pili ako ng isang equation dito, tapos hanapin ko si a sub 1, tapos sa susunod hanapin ko si a sub 2. Alright? By the way, dito sa second equation na to, dito sa second equation, may nakita ka 'di ba? Minus a sub 2. So minus a sub 2 is the same as negative 1 times a sub 2. And remember, anong sinabi ko? If meron tayong isang constant term na i-add mo siya, i-multiply mo siya, i-divide mo siya, or i-subtract mo siya sa isang arbitrary constant, then ang sagot nun ay arbitrary constant na lang, di ba? So that means, we can just simply represent this one as a sub 2 na lang. So ito, therefore, we can have y prime is equal to a sub 1 e raised to x plus a sub 2 e raised to x. Okay? So, ito, it's up to you if you're going to either use this one or use this one as your second equation. Okay, by the way, raised to negative x pala to. Okay. So now, let's eliminate these arbitrary constants. Okay? By the way pala, there is a simple way for me to eliminate this one, pero after na lang sa manual natin i-solve, which is paggamit ng substitution method. So una, gamitin ko tong si second equation. Okay, which is ito. So ito, I will find my a sub 1. Okay, hanapin ko si a sub 1 dito. So by doing so, una, transpose ko tong si a sub 2 e raised to negative x on the left side. So magiging y second prime minus a sub 2 e raised to negative x is equal to a sub 1 times e raised to x. Then, para mahanap ko totally si a sub 1, I'll divide both sides by e raised to negative x. E raised to x pala, sorry. So ito, therefore, meron na akong a sub 1 as y second prime minus a sub 2 times e raised to negative x all over e raised to x. Yan. So okay na. Ngayon, what I can do here is I will substitute a sub 1 sa second kong equation, which is si y prime. Okay? Or, kung gusto nyo, try nyo itong i-substitute sa y. Pwede naman kahit saan. Okay? So, for me, I'll substitute it to the second equation, which is yung naka y prime. So, dito sa y prime, we will have a sub 1 e raised to x minus a sub 2 e raised to negative x. So, recall natin na si a sub 1 ay y prime, y second prime minus a sub 2 e raised to negative x all over e raised to x, diba? Okay. So, yun ang i-substitute natin siya dito. By the way pala, kung ayaw nyo ng ganun ka-complicated na, na fraction, ito, di ba ito, naka-fraction to? Kung ayaw mo siyang gawing complicated, you can rewrite this at this way. Okay, pwede mo naman siya itong i-rewrite. You can just simply have 1 all over e raised to x times quantity y second prime minus a sub 2 times e raised to negative x. Pwede niyang ganyan. Okay, pwede siyang ganyan. Alright? For your convenience lang. Okay? So, gagamitin ko na lang to. Since kasi, I do believe baka if I'm going to use this one, if I'm going to use this one, mahirapan kayo lalo. So, wait lang baba ko lang to. So, if that's the case, meron na akong 1 all over e raised to x times quantity y second prime minus a sub 2 times e raised to negative x. Okay, times e raised to x minus a sub 2 times e raised to negative x. Okay. So, first, let's simplify. Simplify muna natin. So, to simplify this equation, una, makakancel tong si e raised to x dito sa first term. Kasi meron siya sa baba at meron siya sa taas, pero nasa gilid siya. So, makakancel yan. So, mangyari dyan, we will have 1 times quantity y second prime, ano ba yan? Teka, pangat sulat ko eh. Yan, y second prime minus a sub 2 e raised to negative x minus a sub 2 times e raised to negative x. So ito, 1 times quantity y prime minus a sub 2 e raised to negative x. Ang sagot dyan ay y second prime minus a sub 2 e raised to negative x pa rin. So, ganyan na magiging resulta niya. So, that's it. Okay. Hindi. Pwede pa natin itong i-simplify pala. Okay? So, itong dalawa, both of them are similar terms. Right? So, we can just add them together. So, mangyari dyan, we will have y prime is equal to y second prime minus 2 times a sub 2 times e raised to negative x. So, nakasimplify na to. Now, ang gagawin natin is we will find a sub 2. Hanapin natin si a sub 2. So, paano? So, first, transpose ko si y second prime to the left. So, we have y prime minus y second prime is equal to negative 2, 2 times a sub 2 e raised to negative x. Ayan. Then, para para mahanap natin si a sub 2, i-divide natin si equation by negative 2 times e raised to negative x on both sides. Therefore, meron na tayong y prime minus y second prime all over negative 2 times e raised to negative x is equal to a sub 2. And kung ayaw mo nang i-complicate to, kumbaga, you want this to be in simple way, there's no problem. You can rewrite this as, negative 1 all over 2 times e raised to negative x times quantity y prime minus y second prime is equal to a sub 2. Then itong si e raised to negative x, pwede mo namang siyang pwede mo namang siyang gawing positive by reciprocating. So when you reciprocate e raised to negative x, ang mangyayari dyan ito, you will have negative 1/2 times e raised to x. Ganyan na yung magiging itsura niya. So therefore, if you're going to multiply together, maging ganito yung itsura niya. E raised to x all over 2 times quantity y prime minus y second prime is equal to a sub 2. Ganyan na lang siya. Okay? So kung hindi nyo naintindihan kung paano ko ito na-reciprocate, ganito lang yun. Okay? So una, pinag-separate ko si 2 at saka si e. So meron na akong dalawang fraction. Okay? Then ito, kung i-reciprocate mo to, by the definition of loss of exponent, ganito magiging tsura niya. Magiging 1 all over e raised to x. Tapos, since ito, complicated fraction to, syempre, i-reciprocate ko yan. So by doing so, ganito magiging tsura niya. 1/2 times 1, 1/2 times 1 times e raised to x all over 1. So anong sagot ko rin? Minultiply ko lahat. So I will have e raised to x all over 2. Okay? Ganun lang yung ginawa ko. Alright? So, if you have still no idea kung paano ko ginawa, I suggest you should review your lesson sa algebra. Okay? Or high school math. Anyways, let's go back. Meron na tayong a sub 2, di ba? Ngayon, i-substitute natin tong si a sub 2 tsaka si a sub 1 sa huli nating equation, which is yung original mismo. Okay? So, I will make a border para di tayo magkalito. Alright? So, that's it. So, dito, sa original nating formula, we have y is equal to, wait lang y is equal to a sub 1 times e raised to x plus e sub 2 times e raised to negative x. Pwede ako mag-substitute na kaagad. So sa a sub 1, which is ito yun, we have negative e raised to x all over 2 times quantity y prime minus y second prime. Ay hindi, a sub 1 pala. Mali, sorry guys, sorry. A sub 1 pala, sorry. Ito pala si a sub 1. So ito, we have 1 all over e raised to x times y second prime minus a sub 2 e raised to x. Ayan. Plus a sub 2 e raised to negative x. Wait lang, ba't hindi ko pa na-substitute si a sub 2? Di ba kasi meron tayong a sub 2, di ba? Why do we still not substitute a sub 2 dyan? Bakit kaya? Why did I not substitute dito, itong nakabilog, sa a sub 2? It's simple. Kasi magiging magulo yung solution mo. Hence, mahirapan ka mag-solve. So, let's take it slow. There's no problem taking it slow naman. Okay? So, ayan. Let's go. So, okay, may nakalimutan lang pala ako rito. Wait lang nga. Meron akong nakalimutan dito. E raised to x. Ayan. There we go. So, now let's simplify. So, I can cancel e raised to x sa baba at saka sa taas. So, mangyari dyan, we have 1 times quantity y prime minus a sub 2 e raised to x plus a sub 2 e raised to negative x. Ay, sorry. Ayan na siya. There we go. So, kung i-simplify natin itong first term, 1 times the quantity nito Ang sagot nito ay ganun pa rin siya. Y second prime minus A sub 2 times E raised to X. Ayan. Okay. So, dito, ang pwede kong gawin is I can simplify this by factoring out the last two terms by A sub 2, or I can just directly substitute A sub 2 with this one. Okay? So for me, ang gagawin ko muna is i-factor out ko tong terms by A sub 2. Y second plus quantity negative E raised to X plus times A sub 2. Alright? Then, I can now further substitute A sub 2 with this one. So ito, I will have Y second prime times quantity E raised to negative X. Ay, baliktad pala. Ay, hindi. O sige, ganun na lang. It's still the same. E raised to negative X minus E raised to X. Kumbaga parang binaliktad ko lang yung position nila. It's still the same. Pwede pa rin yun. Okay to. Then ito, we will have negative E raised to X all over 2 times Y prime minus Y second prime. And that's it. Okay na. So ito, since wala ng arbitrary constant, so para sa akin, okay na to as your final answer. However, syempre, dapat i-simplify nyo yan. Okay, you need to simplify this one. Bakit? Why do we need to simplify? Because, bro, like, would you rather have a complicated final answer instead of a simplified answer? Kasi yung simplified answer, maikli lang siya eh, di ba? So, you need to simplify this one. So, let's distribute this, itong given na A sub 2 dito sa parenthesis na to na naka-exponential functions. So ito, we will have y is equal to y second prime plus, kung i-distribute natin, bulol na naman ang pagkasalita ko. Kung i-distribute natin to sa e raised to negative x, ganito may itsura niya. So magiging negative na to eh. Sorry. Magiging minus e raised to negative x times e raised to x all over 2 times quantity y prime minus y second prime. Okay? Tapos, pag i-distribute ka naman to dito sa negative e raised to x, magiging positive na to. So, magiging plus e raised to x times e raised to x all over 2 times quantity y prime minus y second prime. Now, ang pwede kong gawin dito is we can now further simplify this one. Okay? So, ito, if you're going to simplify this one, e raised to negative x times e raised to x, ang sagot dyan magiging 1. Okay, magiging 1 half na lang to. Bakit? Bakit kaya magiging 1 half na lang yan? Kasi bro, e raised to negative x times e raised to x. Remember, you guys have the same base. Tapos magka-parehas or magkaiba yung exponent ninyo. So if you have two terms or two or more terms that are the same base, tapos meron silang kanilang exponent, then ang gawin mo is that kopyahin mo yung base nila, then i-add mo yung exponent nila. So you have negative x plus x. So negative x plus x is what? 0, di ba? So e raised to 0 is 1 because anything raised to 0 is 1. So therefore, meron tayong ganito. So 1 half times quantity y prime minus y second prime. Then ito, ganun din. Okay, the same tactic lang. Kung i-multiply mo yung dalawang terms that have the same base, tapos meron silang kanilang exponent, so we will have e raised to x plus x. So magiging e raised to 2x. Okay? So we will have e raised to 2x all over 2 times quantity y prime minus y second prime. Okay. So dahil dyan, may mali akong ginawa rito. Teka lang. Dapat e raised to 2x to. Ayan, that's it. Okay. Ngayon, ang gagawin natin is we can still simplify the solution. Ito. Kung mapapansin nyo to, we have the last two terms that are actually similar fraction. Kumbaga, fractions that have the same denominator. So we can actually add these two together. Itong last two terms, so we can do that. Okay? So therefore, we will have y is equal to y second prime, all right, minus, tama ba ako? Yeah, tama. Wait, what? Seryoso? Teka lang nga. So in here, we will have y second prime plus negative quantity y prime minus y second prime plus e raised to 2x times quantity y prime minus y second prime all over 2. Ganyan na yan. Alright? Then, after that, pwede ko naman siyang actually gawing itong expression into a whole fraction. Pwede naman yun. Alright? So, in here, ang gagawin ko rito is butterfly technique, or much better, gamitin ko yung method na yun yung pang-convert ng from mixed fraction into improper fraction. Alright? Basically, I'll multiply the denominator sa isang term dito. Okay? So 2 times y second prime magiging 2y second prime. Then, kung ano yung product niya, yan ang i-add natin siya dito sa expression na to. So, that means, kung i-add natin si 2y second prime dyan sa expression na yan, we will have 2y second prime plus negative quantity y prime minus y second prime plus e raised to 2x times quantity y prime minus y second prime. Ayan na siya. Then, copy natin yung buong tuloy. Then, i-copy natin si denominator na si 2. Ganyan na yan. Then, ang gawin ko rito is I will cross multiply. So, pagka cross multiply ko, I will have 2y is equal to 2y prime minus quantity y prime minus y second prime plus e raised to 2x times quantity y prime minus y second prime. Ganyan na siya. Alright? Then last but not the least, I can still simplify this one. Okay? Kung mapapansin nyo sa last two terms, we have negative y prime minus y second prime. Then we have e raised to 2x times quantity y prime minus y second prime. So that means these last two terms are both divisible by y prime minus y second prime. At yan yung greatest common factor nila. So pwede ko silang i-factor out. Therefore, I will have 2y prime times tuloy. wait lang. Kung ganun, what I will have here is that magiging na to, plus quantity. Okay? Wait, tama ba ako? Hindi. Ganito na siya. Plus quantity, negative 1, wait lang, negative 1 plus e raised to x times quantity y prime minus y second prime. Yan. There you go. Wait lang nga, e raised to 2x to. Ayan. Let me check nga if I'm correct. Okay. So, tama naman pala ako. Okay, there's no wrong thing naman here. Tama naman pala ako rito. Alright? Or pwede nyo naman itong interchange ha. itong si -1 tsaka si e raised to 2x. You can interchange them if you like to. So ito, magiging ano na to 2y is equal to 2y second prime plus quantity e raised to 2x minus 1, okay, times quantity y prime minus y second prime. Okay? So for me, ito na yung final sagot ko. Ayan. So ito, medyo mahaba to no? So it's actually very long, right? However, there's like one simple way to solve this type of system of equation. All right? Pero actually, medyo ano na to, medyo mahaba-haba na to sa oras. So maybe I'll just discuss that shortcut method for this type of system equation na ganito siya, ganitong type of system equation na to. Okay? In the next video na lang or sa practice video natin sa elimination of arbitrary constant. Basta guys, you get the point here. So, in here guys, as you can see dito, when it comes to eliminating arbitrary constant, 'di ba, we use differentiation. Then we use other algebraic techniques para matanggal si arbitrary constant if andyan pa rin siya after natin siyang i-differentiate, right? So as you can see in this video, I use yung substitution method, 'di ba? So kung ganun, why not yan na lang yung yan na lang yung gagamitin kong method dito para sa condition B. Kasi sa condition B or second condition sa third step, 'di ba? At least one arbitrary constant is still given, then find a way to eliminate. If there's a way which is paggamit ng substitution method, then why not ilagay ko dyan, use substitution method to eliminate the arbitrary constant instead of find a way to eliminate it. It's because there are other methods na pwede mo pala siyang gamitin to eliminate. Yung na yun, i-discuss ko sana yung yung another technique para i-eliminate yung arbitrary constant kapag ganito yung given natin. Kapag ganito yung given natin, ito yung binilugan ko. There is, pero since we have no time, so I think discuss ko lang yata sa practice video or maybe I've discussed that once or before sa isang practice video about this one. Alright? So, basically, yun lang naman ang masasabi ko. Alright? If there's some ways that you can eliminate the arbitrary constant after further differentiation, then that's good. Okay? At least you try other things. Right? So, I think yun lang naman ang masasabi ko. So, that is all for today. Thank you for listening and watching. And I hope you have learned something from me. See you!